So, like I said, it's time for another Orisha story. And why I'm sitting here because I don't pull cards with the Orishas when I'm talking to y'all about the Orishas. Um, I'm gonna dry my motherfucking nails because y'all know how gel polish won't dry unless you got your heat lamp, your UV lamp, excuse me, how to dry that goddamn polish. It just ain't gonna get done. Similar to the story that I'm telling y'all today. I don't know if y'all are familiar with Abiku children. But today we're going to talk about Abiku children. These are absolutely Orishas. So those of you who are like, oh, I thought we were telling an Orisha story, pay attention, okay? These are Orishas that I'm talking about. But because I'm not talking about one of the more venerated ones right now, I know that y'all lose focus a lot, okay? I know that y'all begin to try to find a loose thread to pull to try to prove that someone is wrong. But Abikus are Orishas. They are not they are not Iramole, if you will. They are spirit children from Orun who are their whole job is to be born to die. Okay. Um to those of you who understand and you all that are following the Orisha story, I'm talking to y'all. Those of you who don't understand and you have never heard of an Abiku, rather than you being in my comments talking about, oh, what's that? Who's that? I've never heard of that. My Babylon has never because you got a failure for a Babylon, okay? If I'm your high priestess, okay? I'm gonna make sure your ass is fed. I'm gonna give you that manna, okay? If you call yourself worshiping with the Orishas, baby, how dare you not know who the Abiku children are? Yeah, you can tell me all about Oshuns, Ibejis, and that's the only children y'all can talk about is the Ibeji. But there are more children in Orun that are very important to the story of the Orisha, which is why I'm bringing to y'all the story of the Abiku. The story is pretty sad, okay? Um, some of us humans don't even know that we are related to Abikus. Those of us who have had relatives who died really, really young, those that died before they were 25. I'm gonna go back a little. Those who died before they were 21 or when they were 21. Um, My opinion, although Aaliyah was 22, I feel like Aaliyah was an Abiku child. She was born to die. The highest that she was ever going to get in this realm was where she was when she left because this world wasn't good enough for her. Hold on, y'all. I gotta lean over a little bit because I'm using my heat lamp. Like I said, Abiku children are children who are born to die. Their whole their whole job is to be born to die. And in my opinion, I believe that Abiku children are also brought to you or to your family because your family has a lesson to learn. I need to move this heat lamp because I want to be able to talk to y'all straight up. So give me just a second. Let me dry my fucking left hand. All right, now I've dried my nails enough because I was leaving my fucking sticky shit all over. I know I like to show y'all my nails. I did. These are press-ons. I make my own press-ons. No, you bitches didn't make these. Um, these are mine. Y'all seen these, I think. If not, TikTok saw them first. If you don't follow me on TikTok, you need to follow me on TikTok. Um, anyway, Abiku children. Yeah. Who else could have been an Abiku? Tupac, Biggie. Those, I believe, I'm gonna say those that died when they're in their 25th year as well. They're, in my opinion, I'm not saying that this is Ifa law, but you know how you have to eat your own food and digest that shit for yourself. That's exactly the same way with EPA, okay? In my opinion, those that die before they are 26, let me put it like that, that's an Abiku child. My brother was an Abiku child. He died 33 days after his 19th birthday. My granddaughter was an Abiku child. Don't know how many days she died after her birthday. It was probably about 6 months after her birthday. She been, no, it wasn't 6 months. It was what, 4 months, right? And she born in August, and it was she died in December, so that was for 4 months. She died 4 months after her birthday. Um, I don't care what you all say. She's coming back. You can believe that Jesus has come back. Hell, why could my granddaughter come back? Hell, Why wouldn't my little brother be reborn? Why wouldn't any of your people that have died be reborn? See, we have to stop thinking and thinking with a human mind and limiting our experience, our human experience, or limiting our closeness to God. Because them Abiku children are definitely from a room. They serve their purpose and they bring sadness to their families over and over again. Sometimes that damn child will be born and not die in the same way, but will die over and over again, and families be toe up about it. But in my opinion, that child consistently dies like that, not necessarily with your mom and daddy. You're the sibling, if you will, that died could be born again through one of your siblings, or it can be born again through a cousin. But please believe that child is going to die. Okay. Not that that means you shouldn't care about your kids, but just beware that there are children who are born to this earth to snap a family up out of a level of bullshit or a cycle of bullshit that they have been going through. That is the job of the Abiku child. Um, Let me read y'all a little something from y'all know my favorite book. Hold on, reach out more than a little something. Reach you some paragraphs from this book real quick to give you a better insight before I start preaching. Y'all know how they do at church. You got to read the Bible. And the Lord said, let me stop playing. But Christians get mad. I don't give a fuck if you get mad, baby. You and Jesus gonna relax. Anyway, in the infinite O room, the realm of the supreme God Oludumare, a parallel world to ours, where the Orishas and ancestors live, there's a society of spirit children called Egbe Ara Orun Abiku. Okay, I didn't give you the full name. I would just call them the Abiku children because who in the fuck gonna remember? Nobody gonna remember all that. But the Abiku children, children born to die in a brief period or at a young age. Okay, so you see where I was saying that people who die before they are 21 or 25, however you want to receive it. Okay, anyone who dies before then, especially those that die in violent manners. And this is not them you voodoo bitches, you bitches that think that, oh, I'm gonna come in here and I'm gonna shut up, bitch. Okay, I'm gonna tell my story the fucking way I want to fucking tell it. If you want to tell how you discern or you have decided that this story should be told, bitch, open your motherfucking camera up and put this shit up on your own page. Don't bring your ass underneath my motherfucking post trying to correct the motherfucking thing. Stinking asshole, you bitches wasn't even talking about Abiku children. You bitches was calling them Jinjins and they ain't fucking Jinjins. You stupid slut. Anyway, children born to die in a brief period or at a young age. In West Africa, among the Yoruba, Akan, Nupe, Igbo, Hausa, and Fante peoples. Look, if that's not right, African folk, correct my verbiage. Tell me how to pronounce that. If that A is long and that Fante word, let me know. If that's a short word, short A, uh, Fante, Fante people. It is believed that on Earth, the Bhikkhu spirits commonly reside in uninhibited sacred forests, swamps, and in wooded areas around Iroko trees. It is also believed that if a woman gives birth to a series of stillborn children, I forgot to add, those of you who have stillborn babies, your baby is an Abiku child, okay? Not that the child that you give birth to afterwards is an Abiku, but those of us who've had a stillborn, you gave birth to an Abiku, okay? I gave birth to an Abiku. I've had a stillborn child. I'm gonna go as far as to even include the girls who've had to yeet a baby or two or three, however many. Don't give birth to a nigga's child if you don't want to. Anyway, those girls that had to yeet the babies, like, yo, those are Ibiku babies, okay? That baby was not meant to be here. That's why I am not anti-abortion because some of these goddamn children that come here, and I'm like, oh, you talking about kids? I didn't say specific children, baby. I said these goddamn kids, meaning all of these children get on my fucking nerves, okay? But some of these kids are brought to this planet specifically to teach you a lesson, and usually in death, people learn lessons. Not all of the time. Not all of the fucking time. More often than not, Ain't nobody learning a motherfucking thing. Everybody's just going right on back to their regular life, which is why Abikus continue to visit your fucking family. Okay? Let me go back to it. It is also believed that if a woman gives birth to a series of stillborn children, meaning that if you have one or more, like even if you give birth to one, but anyway, or if the baby um dies somehow in your womb, of course that's a stillborn. That the wound, don't say wound, y'all. Wound and a womb is two different things, and I know that keeps y'all ass in a chokehold, but womb is what women push babies out of. Okay, wound is what you need stitches in. Okay, or if they die while in infancy, coming back to the earth several times. Okay, wait. Let's go back to this. Let's go back because I just skipped some shit. It is also believed that if a woman gives birth to a series of stillborn children, or they die while still in infancy. Those are those babies that are underneath 5 years old, y'all. Okay. According to tradition, it is not the birth of different children, but rather the same Abiku child coming back to earth several times. Yeah, it's an Abiku, I keep telling you. Abiku come and go between earth and Orun as many times as they wish, without having to stay on earth for long periods of time. So those of you who have lost a baby, like my granddaughter, I knew immediately when she passed. Well, maybe a couple hours after I had settled down and calmed down, like, okay, this baby done straight walked her ass up off this planet. When I had a chance to think about it and listen, spirit like she's an Abiku, you will see her again. I'm like, and then I start thinking about it. Oh, you naughty girl. Yeah, you naughty girl. She was born to die so she could come back again. I jokingly tell her mother that, she left the earth because she felt like her daddy was ugly and she looked like her daddy. Was I calling my grandbaby ugly? No, but she knew her daddy was ugly. She wouldn't even look at a picture of the motherfucker. She didn't even want to go to the motherfucker, okay? She did not like her daddy. I feel like Yaya passed so she can choose a different father. She felt like, nah, I chose this fucked up ass motherfucker who don't know whether or not he's white or whether he's Native American. But I'm gonna lean more towards white boy because the nigga got stringy, wet, greasy ass hair. And the baby didn't want to be related to that. Not only that, they some sick ass people. That baby wanted to be able to get up, run, leap, jerk, do everything that she wanted to do. But being underneath that sick ass body that she was born in, she couldn't. Okay? She had to do nothing but lean into her Abiku side. Do I think that, and this is just my opinion, okay? Do I think that Abikus have the choice on whether or not they're going to die? Of course they do. Of course. But that involves a ritual and shit that you got to do to make sure that this baby don't go nowhere no more, okay? Let us continue. A Bhikkhu come and go between the earth and Orun as many times as they wish, meaning they do what the fuck they want to do. Ain't nothing you can do with this baby, okay? Without having to stay on earth for long periods of time. Their constant departure becomes an ordeal of great despair for parents, wishing to have a number of children to secure the continuity of the family's ancestral bloodline. Let's stop right there, y'all, because we go off into a story of a story in the next paragraph, and I don't want to do that. Y'all got short ass attention spans, and I don't want to deal with grown people that can't pay attention. But I decided to tell the story of the Abiku children because not because only because of my granddaughter and because of my brother, but because there are so many children being killed, and y'all notice that all of these damn kids is 13 years old. Do y'all notice that? All these babies that done died lately been 13 years old. It's something, and I'm going to find it, y'all. And this ain't the last time I'm going to talk about the Abikus, I promise. I'm going to find it. It's something significant with that number 13 with them, too. Something like this is the highest realm they'll reach in this body on this earth at this time. Some shit like that. I don't know. But I'm gonna look into it and I'm gonna tell y'all more about the Abiku children. But yeah, y'all notice all these babies 13. Naziah was 13. Hold on, where the other little girl at? The little girl in Chicago? Or was she 11? Either way, here's these young babies. They between 10 and 13 years old and they leaving this fucking front planet. Be it if it's a sick ass pedophilic grown person that done took them off this planet, or it's one of these ignorant ass other kids, like the little girl in Chicago. I say this to her goddamn godmama with love, okay? How dare you stand your punk ass up on that motherfucking TV and grant this little boy forgiveness? He just killed your goddaughter. I'm gonna do what's right by God. God looking at you like you a goddamn fool. This motherfucker just walked in Abiku into your house. Well, the little girl was born to die. Let me not say that. However, to stand and offer somebody forgiveness that took your loved one from you, you ain't earning no points with God. That's what you motherfuckers be trying to do when you be going overboard. I'm gonna do the right thing, or the right thing to do is to forgive somebody who just murdered my child. Is to forgive them. That's the right thing. I want to make God proud in this moment. Fuck God in that moment. How about that? First of all, Luda Murray ain't listening to y'all no way. That's why you got emissaries. When you lose your child, you're supposed to talk to those emissaries. God trying to make sure the sun sit up in the sky and the moon don't freeze us the fuck to death. Keep telling y'all, God is busy. Okay? Anyway, all these babies leaving this earth before their 20th birthday, before their 15th birthday, shit like that. These are Abiku children, y'all. These are children that in each lifetime, because I believe in reincarnation, and I believe some of us, not all of us, will reincarnate at least once. Some of these children are just born to die. Um, that's bringing no solace to the parents, but that is to highlight that spiritually, there are children who are brought to this planet simply for comfort for the moment. That's why it is always told that you need to celebrate your people while they're here, because you really don't know if you're dealing with an Abiku. You don't know if your child is an Abiku. One of my fingers look darker than the other. Y'all ever had y'all nails on and they be real tight? Like this motherfucking finger tight. Anyway, yeah. That's all I got for the Abikus right now. There's a longer story I want to tell y'all, but again, I know that y'all only have this much attention span when it's dealing with something that has substance. So I'm gonna go on and release y'all, and I'll bring y'all another Orisha story. Won't be this sad one. Won't be a sad one about the kids, the Abiku children, the children who belong to Eku. Eku is the spirit of death. Those are all Eku's children. Next Orisha to a story I'm gonna tell y'all how to banish an Abiku. Yeah, you do need to get an Abiku child away, because that you want to continue to go through sadness and all of that, funerals and shit, then go ahead and let your Abiku be born over and over again to your family. But just know that if you don't stop the Abiku, you will continue to have Abiku. Abiku will continue to be present in your family. Can you stop all death? No. But you can banish the spirit of an Abiku, because it's not wanted. It's not needed. Not that the baby ain't wanted, but the fact that this baby has to be in a Biku, you want that child to stay in no room, because you don't want to carry the heartache of burying or cremating your child. Okay? All right, y'all.
Feel the sacred glow in the realm of the real. Let a power flow.